Okay, so in the last class we've completed the human eye, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. ठीक है, हाँ Shazil. We had some things left in the human eye. Then we'll start it. The new topic, that is the
So for
defects
the
of
exam,
human eye.
the humanoid diagram will come, right?
हाँ, exam like some you can say the functions of human eye can also come, what is the function of ciliary muscles, cornea, like this. Take it can be like MCQs. The function of ciliary muscle is like if four options will be given to you. Okay, so according to that you have to mark it. Okay,
Yes.
sure. Okay. Okay, so range of vision in the last class. Okay. Yes, Shazil. So in the last class we were doing we have completed the human eye. Just let me check one thing. The batch. Check. So Shazil, now let's understand some properties, or you can say the terminologies related to human eye. Shazil, please tilt your camera a little bit so that your half only just eyes is visible. Tilt the camera a little bit in the downwards direction. Ha. Uh, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so now let's understand some terminologies based on the human eye, right? So the first thing that we are going to discuss is the power of accommodation. As I've told you in the last class, that accommodation is the ability of the human eye to adjust the focal length according to the object distance, right? If the object is placed at far point, so it will be adjusted accordingly, and if the object is placed at near point, so it will be adjusted accordingly. So that power of the human eye is called the power of accommodation, right, Shazan?
Yes, sir.
Now let's understand it properly. Okay. So one more thing. Just a second. So as I've told you that the rays coming from the distance of distant object is parallel, and rays coming from the point nearby object will be diverging, right? So after that, okay. So now let's understand accommodation topic. Okay. So this is word accommodation. So accommodation, first of all, you'll understand. So in simple words, an eye can easily focus the far object as well as the near objects. Clear, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Focus the images of the distant objects as well as the nearby objects. Okay. Shazil, I will be going to increase the speed a little bit for the you can say session, because as you know that you have limited time, right? So I just wanted to cover your portion as early as possible so that you have enough amount of time to revise at least, right? So I
Yes.
will be trying to increase the speed. So if you have if you got stuck and if you got any doubt, so just ask it right away, right?
Yes.
Nearby object as well as the distant objects on its retina by changing the focal length of its of its. So next thing is basically okay. So after that will be start okay. So the ability of the eye, let's write down the definition of the accommodation focus as well as objects okay, retina by changing the focal length, its lens, okay, is called accommodation. Okay, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Next thing is basically now let's understand Shazil the range of the human eye. So human eye have two ranges basically. The human eye ranges from 25 centimeter to the infinity, right? So the minimum point that object should be placed to basically identify as the distinct object, it should be 25 centimeter from the eye. And the distant, the far point of the human eye that can be seen is the infinity. So in terms of infinity, it doesn't mean that Shazil, that word is infinity, like so as you can see this thing that there you go. The sky is the moon or you can say space is very far from the surface of Earth, right? So we can easily see the stars. Yes or no, Shazil? Stars are light years away from the Earth's surface. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It means that we can see the objects that are lakhs of crores of kilometers away from the Earth. So as you can see, this will be a little like we can assume this thing as infinity because to reach the star is not possible right now for the human. So we will be taking as the reference of infinity, yes or no, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why infinity point is used, okay, for the very far objects. Okay. C point is a normal human eye, power of accommodation, which enables objects infinity and as close as 25 centimeter. To be focused on the retina. Is this clear to you, bache?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is P point. Okay, so as I told you that the farthest point, Shazil, the next term that you have to understand, the farthest point of the eye is called far point of the human eye, and which is infinity, right? Clear?
Yes,
We
sir.
can see the very large distance, and the nearest point is called the near point. It means that it is the point at which the object is placed, and we can see the object without any constraint without any strain on our eye, right? So that point is called near point of the human eye. Okay, so that is 25 centimeter from the human eye. Clear, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Chalo, that's great. Now let me write it. So, just a moment, Shazil. Actually, my pen is hanging a little bit. Sorry for that. I don't know.
No
I have
problem.
see, maybe there is a malfunctioning in the cable. Far point of the eye. Okay, and that is the infinity, right?
Yes, sir.
Key point is the minimum distance just a second. Instead of minimum, let's take as the nearest point up to which the eye can see an object clearly. Okay, without any strain. Is called okay, Shazil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the minimum point, the near point is the 25 centimeter. The normal 25 centimeter. Okay, Shazil.
Yes, sir.
Last point is okay, Shazil. So that minimum distance of 25 centimeter is called the least distance of distinct vision. It means that if the for the normal human eye, if the object is placed at 25 centimeter, so I can easily distinguish between the objects, right? So that's why it is called least distance of distinct vision. Okay?
So can you repeat it?
I'm saying if suppose that two objects are placed at 25 centimeter, right? So that distance, 25 centimeter is the minimum distance at which objects can be distinguished easily. They can be seen two different objects without any constraint on the eye, right?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Just a second. Let me write it. The minimum distance object must be placed for the normal human eye. The least distance for distinct vision is 25 centimeter. Okay? Clear, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Do you wear any type of glasses, Shazil, for the correction of your eye?
No, sir.
No. Chalo, that's great. Me. So you are very blessed. I do have problem in like I like doctor recommended me to wear the specs, but I'm not wearing any kind of specs. A
For
normal
reading?
eye. No, no, for not reading. Actually, I have myopia. It means that I cannot see the far objects clearly.
Ah.
My far point is shifted towards the near point. So that's why. We will discuss this in the next topic, that is defect of human eye. It's called Okay. Shazil, I'm just taking a 1 minute pause.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shazil. Thank you so much for waiting, Shazil. Okay, so now let's understand. Okay, so this is all about the human eye, right? So
Yes.
all the things that we've covered so far is based on the properties of human eye and the terminologies related to the human eye, right, Shazil? So as we know
Yes, sir.
the range for the human eyes, could you please tell me what is the range for the human eye?
The near point is 25 centimeter and the far point is infinite.
So this is for the normal human eye, right? If it's a
Yes.
defected human eye, so it will be changed according to the defect. But for the normal without any defect will be 25 centimeter to infinity, right, Shravin?
Yes, sir.
Sure, ठीक. Now let's start the second topic. That is, in this class, I will try to complete the at least myopia.
So in this chapter, there is problems and all.
Huh? Yes, problems are there. Problems are basically in the power of a lens. In the defects of vision, power of a lens, the topic that we have done in the light chapter now will be like only lens formula is used and the power of a lens is used. Not a, no no other type of numerical. Only that.
Mm.
Okay. The power of a lens and lens formula. No mirror formula. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No magnification, only mirror lens formula and the power of a lens. Okay. The next thing is that, Shazil, the next thing that we are going to discuss is the defects of vision. So it means that defects of vision in simply words that normal eye is not normal. So basically a human eye is not normal if there is any defect, like if the person is having any, you can say, problem in reading the near like very small words or the near. Okay, if the object is placed nearby, and suppose that if the object is very far from the human eye and he or she is not able to distinguish between them, whether the object is what, right, what type of object that is placed like this. Okay, so now in
Yes,
this
sir.
in this topic we'll be discussing the defects of vision and their correction, how to correct the vision. Okay, so the spectacles, the lenses are used to correct the vision of a human eye according to the, you can say, depending on the focal length and the power of a lens like this. Okay. So now let's understand
Yes.
this thing, Shazil. So we have in majorly we have two types of you can say defects. First is myopia, second is hypermetropia. In this class itself, we are going to discuss myopia first. Okay, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure, that's great. So now let's first understand topic is myopia. Just a second. Myopia. So this myopia is also called as nearsightedness or short-sightedness. It means that a person can see the near objects but cannot see the far object. Yeah, so short-sightedness and or uh, nearsightedness. Okay. So that is the myopia. Achha, so myopia is the defect in which person can see the nearby object but cannot see the far objects. Okay.
Yes, sir.
A point for the myopia is a person cannot see the objects. Okay. Clearly, but okay. So he can see the nearby objects. Okay, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Clearly. Okay. So this is the myopia. Okay, so now let's talk about the myopia. So basically, in the myopia, the far point is less than infinity. Actually, the far point is the infinity, but the far point is shifted towards the near point. So that's why the far point is less than infinity, right? Suppose this is far point, but the far point in for the myopic eye is like this. So it is all obviously less than the far point. Yes or no, Shazil? This is smaller now.
Yes, sir.
Dekho, right? So that's why the far point is less than infinity for a myopic eye. Okay?
Yes.
is less than infinity. ठीक है शाजन?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's understand what are the reasons behind the myopic eye. What is the actual reason? So basically there are two reasons for the myopic eye. So it means first is due to the high converging power. It means that the image is formed, is not formed in the retina, but before the retina, because the far point is less. So the image formed will be less before the retina. Okay. In front of the retina, not basically on the retina, right, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
So that's why it's B point, C point. Now let's understand the defects. Okay. Is caused. First point is due to the high converging power. When the eye is suffering from myopia, the rays get converged at a shorter distance. It converge, it get focused at a shorter distance than the retina. Okay? Than the actual distance. Okay?
Yes.
Islands or because not all word is used. Because of its shorter focal length. Okay. Next is the eye. Basically the ball eyeball becomes long. So myopia, one of the main reason for the myopic eye is the eyeball. You have a spherical ball, but when the eyeball elongates, it becomes too long, na? So the myopia will occur. Okay, Shazan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is the property. Clear, Shazan?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Shout. Just just a moment. Okay. Now let's understand how to correct the myopic eye. Okay. So there is a diagram in for the myopic eye. Okay. Now, okay. So now let's understand this how to correct the myopic eye. Yeah. So first of all, now let's understand how the rays get converged at the retina if the eye is suffering from myopia. Suppose that, Shazil, this is the eye lens, so this is the eyeball, and because we have the convex lens in the eye, right? So this will be like
Yes, sir.
this. Okay, like this. Okay. So as you can see, this becomes this is looking like a eye, looking like an eye. Okay. So object is placed at infinity. The light rays will be coming parallel to the principal axis, right, Shazil? The light
Yes,
rays
sir.
from the distant objects are parallel to each other. Okay, I've told you in the start of the class,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So as you can see this thing, Shazil, that the light rays are parallel to each other. So where it should get converged? What should be the point at which the light should you can say refract? The light should refract at retina, but the light rays will converge in front of the retina instead of converging at retina because of the shorter focal length, or you can say the high converging power. The high converging power means light rays are getting converged at a shorter distance than the retina, than the focal length of the eye lens, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you can see, this thing, Shazil, this image is not forming on the retina. So that's why the image will not be clear, because the message sent to the human brain will not be clear, right? So this is the image
Yes.
formed, Shazil. Okay. This is the image formed because the refracted ray is basically the image. Okay. And parallel rays from distant object. Okay. Distant object. Clear, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you can see, this thing, the image is not forming on the retina. So the A part would be, so this is the myopic eye. In the myopic eye, image distant object is formed in front of retina. Okay.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है अच्छा यहाँ पे मैं लिख देता हूँ रेटिना कौन सा पॉइंट है So, ये पॉइंट जो है ना आपका ये पॉइंट हम इसको रेटिना जूम कर देते हैं ठीक है
Yes.
सो दिस इज ठीक है क्लियर शाजिल यहाँ तक
Yes, sir.
कोई डाउट
No doubt, sir.
चलो ठीक है अब जरा हम देखते हैं कि भाई एक्चुअल में क्या होना चाहिए ठीक है सो नेक्स्ट इज बेसिकली तो यहाँ से जरा मैं इसको इरेज कर देता हूँ सो रेटिना तो एज इट इज रहेगा सो सेकंड पॉइंट में शाजिल हम देखेंगे सो far point basically कहाँ shift हुआ है. So suppose that your object is placed here, ठीक है? Suppose this is the point at which the object is placed. So the nearby object, the rays will be diverged, yes or no, Shazil?
Yes,
The
sir.
rays will be diverging, ठीक है? For the nearby object, like this, ठीक है? So as you can see, this thing, the nearby object is this. So rays will get converged at the retina without any problem. So like this. So as you can see, this thing, Shazil, actually the far point was infinity, but due to the myopia, the far point has shifted towards the focal eye lens. This is smaller. This is smaller distance than the infinity. Right? Yes or no, Shazil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this point will be called as the far point of the myopic eye. F. Okay. Far point of this. Clear, Shazil? So image
Yes,
is
sir.
formed here. So this image, this is the eye. Okay. So this is the eye, right? So image is formed here. So for the B point, image is formed at the retina, right?
Yes, sir.
B point is the far point. F from myopic eye. This then. Okay, Shazil? For the myopic eye, the far point is less than infinity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now in this case, in the last case, we have to understand how to correct it. Okay. So how to correct it? We are going to introduce, just a second, let me. Okay. So let me raise this thing, Shazil. So, so my screenshot. Okay. So for to basically to form to correct this defect, we are going to introduce a concave lens. Just a second. Okay, we are going to introduce the concave lens so that the eye can be fixed. The defect of eye can be fixed. मुझे यहाँ से paste कर लेते चला. I'm going to place it right here. So the concave lens will be placed in front of the eye lens. अब ठीक है, देखो. So just a second. ये दोबारा से. So light rays are coming from infinity and will be parallel to the principal axis. So Shazil, what will happen if the light ray passes from the concave lens? Yes, Shazil, bolo.
Yes, sir.
What will happen if the light ray passes through the principal, basically passing through the concave lens?
Um,
It will diverge, na Shazil? The concave lens diverges the rays,
oh,
right?
sir, I thought you were asking what will happen means like,
Okay, okay, chalo, theek hai, no worries. Don't. So the light ray will basically diverge like this. So as you can see this thing, Shazil, the light rays are diverged. So now the light ray will be, now the islands will basically form the image at the retina. Okay, Shazil. So this is how
yes, sir.
the myopic eye is corrected using the concave lens. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if the question comes in the exam that what is myopia, draw a ray diagram to correct the myopic eye. So you have to draw all the three diagrams for the exams. Okay. So these are very
Yes,
important diagrams, Shazal, right? You don't have to just you have to understand the diagram properly, and you have to practice it so that you can easily draw it in the exam. Okay.
yes, sir.
C point is